Modern world, if I meet a girl who's 33 and single, I know the amount of dick that's been through her before me is just simply unattractive. If I get a 19-year-old girl, I might be her second or third man, right? I'm gonna be dude number fucking 29, and all the trauma and heartbreak you're gonna try and bring to my door? I don't give a fuck. They've been on the carousel longer. They've had more fucking rides, more spins. The younger and the more beautiful she is, she's gonna be very, very selective with who she slept with.
And you like that.
Women's mentality is absolutely connected to sex.
Here's the truth about old and used women. Most Native women prefer males no more than 5 years older than themselves, and they almost drool over those even a few years younger. Women over 40 have a lot of problems, including emotional scarring from having experienced more than a toilet seat's worth of action, the moodiness and hot flashes of early menopause perhaps, dealing with children, and, if she hasn't had any yet, the widespread belief that she can still get pregnant up until the age of 50. They're attempting to feel bad about themselves by telling themselves they can keep having children until they are 50. But if she does, the baby will definitely have Down syndrome and look like Rain Man. Women over 40 are just as narcissistic as women under 40, and they believe they are the bee's knees and the cat's whiskers despite the fact that the vast majority of them are on medication for mental health or physical health problems. Well, it's true that both men and women suffer mental and physical harm as they age, but men tend to deal with these things better as they grow older. Therefore, as long as we still have money and utility value, the normal problem that women complain about when it comes to men won't exist. A man's major concerns are that he is basically a financial loss and that he is angry at all women since his ex-partner messed him up. Thus, if you are financially successful, even if you merely seem to not have any troubles with women, you are in an excellent position to pump and dump. But in all honesty, who wants a woman beyond her mid to late 30s? In addition to the fact that she finds moving about more of a hassle as she ages, her irritability and nagging have grown intolerable, and yet you, a male, likely still have the same or similar interest in sexual acts. She is getting older and you are probably still attracted to her. The attitude of modern women, especially those who value education and professional advancement, is one of the things that annoys me the most. These women appear to think that they have the right to treat men badly just because they are educated and informed. In my adult relationships, I've noticed a correlation between the woman's level of education and how long the relationship lasted. The less she knew, the longer it lasted, and vice versa. Most of the women I've met in my 30s recently all have 1 or 2 degrees and have the worst attitude imaginable. So the Athenians were right when they said there's no point in educating women because it's like giving a snake more venom to use against men. This is not a problem exclusive to women over 40. But if you'd happen to meet one and find her attractive, you might want to put the fact that she has a college degree in the not a plus column. Women's pleasantness seems to be directly proportional to the degree to which they are uneducated about the world and its people. In my opinion, women are just grown-up versions of obnoxious brats. The last thing you need is for one to tell you what she thinks. Like one of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory's spoiled kids, another trend I've found in the women I've known in their 20s, 30s, and 40s is that they have a midlife crisis. For example, if they didn't try the carousel in their 20s and 30s, they may decide to do so in their 40s, and they may be able to do so because many of them can still get hit on by males in their 20s and 30s, even if it's only for sexual purposes. I know women in their late 30s and early 40s who just now truly desire men in their 20s, and they believe that those men like them for who they are rather than what they look like. This is because it is so simple for her to attract such a guy in the first place. Women of that age are living on borrowed time. Their bodies are on the verge of collapse, but they have no idea it. They are in the throes of menopause, but they carry on like they are in their 20s because they never mature. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but in this day and age, women have it so easy when it comes to attracting younger men because of the ease with which they can utilize technology to connect with men of younger generations. He's still in Mr. Winky mode and not Mr. Big Brain mode, so she has every reason to believe he won't leave her for anyone else because of how much he loves her, and I don't think she cares about having intercourse at all. I realize I'm doing nothing to boost your confidence in approaching women in their 30s, but I feel it's crucial that you comprehend the mindset of modern women. Because as a high-value man, you're not into escorts, and eventually you'll likely lose access of women of good breeding age. Money and status will also help you attract such women, but that, too, becomes harder and harder as you get older. Eventually, I think you'll have to go MGTOW monk mode. All men eventually face this reality, and it's best to come to terms with it now rather than later. When we hit middle age, as men, we want to think that our virility doesn't decline, but the truth is that it does. Women in their 40s who can still crack open a man in their 20s are generally celebrated as magnificent pieces of hero, whereas men in their late 40s who are interested in women in their 30s are typically seen as creepy old guys. Anyway, I plan to spend the rest of this video talking about additional characteristics of women over 40 that I've seen. Menopause cause is a decline in a woman's hormone levels, which causes severe rage, anxiety, despair, and a general lack of confidence. Somebody recently posted on my channel that women want physical pleasures constantly from the time they are late teens to early 20s, and I found that to be pretty true. But that by the time they reach their mid to late 20s, they want less and less, and start resenting having physical activities, whereas by the time they reach their 30s, they actually want to fulfill their desires again, not because they want it, but because they want to lock a man. A smart woman would never take the chance of losing a man who might provide her with all the wealth that she requires to satisfy her materialistic demands and wants. Unfortunately, it is essential to comprehend that women in their 40s either desire younger men due to their attractiveness or an older man due to his financial stability. This is due to the fact that, let's face it, the older man is just living on borrowed time and will soon be able to confirm his place in the closest cemetery. Alas, you should put some space between yourself and these ladies for the sake of your own sanity and to prevent yourself from the discomfort that will result from the game that these women have been playing with men. This concludes today's video. I'll see you again tomorrow. In the meanwhile, don't forget to take your regular dose of the red pill and send this video to any of your friends who are in need of learning the unvarnished truth about these vile ladies.